Sometimes what the world sees as a limitation becomes your greatest strength. My guest today, Scott Ballard, is living proof of that. Growing up with dyslexia, Scott didn't just overcome a learning challenge, he transformed it into the foundation of an incredible entrepreneurial journey that's seen him build multiple businesses, survive 10 failures, and ultimately create a thriving leadership development company. Scott's the founder of Confidence Coach LLC, and he's not your typical business consultant. He turned a $100 investment into a top 3 market performer within 5 years, sold a multi-million dollar company, and now dedicates his life to helping entrepreneurs and leaders unlock their potential. His book, The Biggest Disability is a Bad Attitude, and his proprietary frameworks like Developing a Game Plan and Dream Employee Builder have helped countless professionals reimagine what's possible in their career and lives. And honestly, when you hear Scott's story today, how he's guided corporate engineers into entrepreneurship, supported aspiring coaches in finding their path, and consistently transformed struggling business owners into confident leaders, you'll understand why he's become one of the most sought-after leadership coaches in the industry. Please welcome Scott Ballard to the show. All right, Scott Ballard, welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be here. I'm excited for this conversation today.
Me too. I'm so excited to have you on. So for anybody who doesn't know who you are, why don't you just let them know a little bit about who you are and what you do for customers?
Yeah. I'm Scott Ballard. I'm known as the Confidence Coach, and what I do is I help people build their confidence. I'm the chief belief builder for entrepreneurs, business owners, partners, anybody that is doing something and then having that problem of, oh, it's all on me. I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I'm past my skis, or so to speak. And that's been my life story. So I'm kind of an expert at helping people solve that problem in the marketplace. I've been an entrepreneur now for 45 years, and I'm kind of unemployable at this point. So I say that to people jokingly, but it's the world I love and I swim in, and I love the people. I love to serve them, and I love to see my people win. And we've had some pretty extraordinary wins over the last 20 years or so doing this. So, yeah.
Very cool. Well, I've already got at least a dozen other questions, but yeah, I joke with people all the time. I started my business coming out of the Army, and I said that being in the military cured me of ever wanting to have a boss again. So at this point, I can only work for myself, it seems. You mentioned, so Confidence Coach, obviously you've been an entrepreneur for a long time. So what motivated you to start this company specifically?
Yeah. So our prior company, we're in the insurance business, and started a company at our kitchen table with $100, no experience in the industry, no education in the industry, no contacts in the industry. I struggled for 3 years to kind of figure out, we were selling one product, and we were trying to figure out who the ideal customer was. And that took about 3 years. But once we hit that, we went from being number 10,000 in selling that product in the US to number 3 by year 7, and
Wow.
then 1, 2, or 3 for the next 15 years. And then when the federal government took over healthcare, we knew that was coming 2 years ahead, and we prepared and were able to sell our company to a large life insurance company. And so that's when I exited out of that, and then was like, okay, what do I do with my life? I'm not a retired person. I was born in the 50s, but I love being in the marketplace. I love people. I loved it. And so I just had people that I knew in the industry who started reaching out to me saying, can you help me with my leadership team? Or I got this problem. I have this huge problem. Nobody else has been able to help me solve it. Can you come in and solve that problem with me or for me? And we didn't know it was coaching for the first 5 or 10 years. My wife is the owner of the company. And I came home from a meeting one time. She goes, I think what you're doing is coaching. And I go, no, I played sports. I had a coach. This is not coaching. She goes, no, it's the business thing. And so now everybody's a coach now. Everything is coaching.
Right.
But yeah, so that's how we got into it, kind of backwards and not a
Yeah.
strategy. And we haven't worked a day in 20 years because we get to do this. And I was just on a call with an amazing guy with a wealth advising firm that's doing incredible stuff, and a client of mine. And yeah, we just work with amazing people all over the world and see them achieve their goals and dreams.
That's it. That's excellent. What's been one of your favorite clients or projects or, specific situations over the years where you feel like you've got a lot out of it and we're able to have a great result?
Yeah, 12 years ago, through our local church, we were doing a lot of relief work in building and schools and orphanages and all kinds of things in Africa and Uganda. And a young guy that I'd been mentoring said, "Hey, I want to go. I want to take my girlfriend, but I'm going to propose to her. So she'll be my fiance. I want her to go. She's never been out of the US and I want her to go to Africa because I want to live there. I want to start a business and really make a difference in the country." And so they came. She cried every day for the first 3 days. I almost sent her home. And then he told her, my dream is really to come here and start a business and teach people to fish, like make people be self sustaining. And I have all
Right.
these ideas. And so they got married 6 months later. They moved there. They failed in every attempt for the first 5 years of getting something to replicate. But I was coaching and mentoring them, and then we came upon this idea that trees are a harvestable, replenishable crop. I live in Oregon, the timber capital of the United States. So I know a little bit about trees. And so over the next couple of years, by bootstrapping and just figuring it out and learning how to grow trees in a very harsh climate, we started. And this year we planted 40 million trees and
Wow.
have 60,000 partners in Northeastern Africa and are the biggest job creator or business creator incubator ever in Africa. And all these people are self sustaining and their incomes are up 10,000% because they have a
Mhm.
crop and we buy the trees, make charcoal. And then here's the kicker of it, Rory. We didn't realize it, but we were creating a thing called carbon credits. And every big company in the world is trying to offset their carbon footprint. We're the biggest holder and producer of carbon credits in the world. So we
Wow.
were just able to sign with one of the 10th largest companies in the world a multi-million dollar investment to buy our carbon credits over the next 10 to 20 years. And that's just the
Wow.
first of many that are lining up that are the biggest companies in the world because we have that bandwidth. So that's been a really cool journey from a lot of failing and failing fast, doing it in a third world country, which is a huge challenge. People in
Right.
America don't realize how much easier it is to build a business here than in Africa or other parts of the
Yeah.
world. But I'm super proud of him and them. And they still live there. They have a couple of kids now. And it's just like there's just opportunity everywhere now. And Africa is the emerging economy of the next 40 years in the world. It's the
Right.
youngest continent in the world. Medium age in the countries we operate is like 18 to 20. And
Oh, wow.
so, yeah, so these are young adults. So we're teaching them how to be sustainable, how to make a profit, how to run a business that's replicatable and duplicatable. And it's changing the whole face of that part of Africa. And we have a lot of other open doors now, so to speak,
Yeah.
because it really works and it works. And it does so much good all the way across the environment, people, the economy, just in every way. But it was built out of tremendous failure and then willingness not to quit and get
Yeah.
back up one more time and one more time. And Quinn Neely, the CEO, the founder of this, is a world class entrepreneur, phenomenal leader, phenomenal. But it's not easy, and nobody
Right.
wants to hear about the hard, the pain, the failures, the 5 years, the no, the running out of money, the borrowing money from your family, from your friends, from all these things. But my job, and still today, is to be his coach and to keep the vision alive. And okay, now we can do this. Now, can we do the whole continent of Africa? Can we change the world with this
Right.
simple idea, planting a tree and harvesting it? So simple, but it's life changing for these people. It's,
Yeah.
and their kids are getting educated now and they're getting health care and their villages coming alive and the standard of living is up enormously. So yeah, that's a pretty epic story for a guy like me that's been in business a long time. But I've spent a lot of time in Africa. I've spent a lot of time. I've been to 63 countries around the world, but it's exciting to do it there because it's a bigger accomplishment. It just is.
Right.
It's such a bigger mountain to climb. So we went to the
Yeah.
hardest place to see if we could do it. And we've had arguably the biggest success in that sense. So,
That's very cool. Yeah, I think a lot of people over here take it for granted how much infrastructure and everything. If you want to start a business, you can log on online, pay a little bit of money, and boom, you have a business. Like, no. Imagine in a country where there's not enough internet, you got to walk in person to some dude who's corrupt and may or may not just steal your money. Like, just the number of problems are exponential. So that's a really cool story. And obviously, you said you knew him from the church. I think that was you had the
yeah,
relationship.
we're people of faith, the local community church here, and I was very involved in taking young people overseas to serve and get a dose of reality of this is the majority
Right.
world. Like
Yeah.
this is how 80% of people live, and then just exercise their faith and their belief and really get them to reevaluate, okay, what is life about? What's important and how blessed you are, really. I mean, to be
Yeah.
born here is the most unfair advantage of all.
Yeah. No
But
kidding.
a
That's
lot
a
of
hundred
kids.
percent true.
So we took about 500 kids over a number of years. India, Africa, Haiti, spent a lot of time in Haiti trying to rebuild it after the earthquake. And yeah, it's great. It has really helped me be a much better coach because I have a worldview of like the reality of what's going on globally. So
Right.
yeah.
Very cool. So obviously you've been around for a long time, which is a feat all of its own. I mean, most small businesses, I think the average is 5 years, right? So most people don't survive when they have a new coaching business, as an example. Has it been mostly referrals and warm market for you, or what? How have you grown the business over the years?
Yeah, I mean, it's really unsophisticated, Rory. I mean, it has really been word of mouth. Of course, because of my career, because of my other businesses, I mean, I wasn't going out there starting this not knowing anybody or
Right.
whatever. And I've also done a lot of speaking, and I love to speak, and I've gotten a lot of really huge feedback and opportunities because of the speaking that I do. And so it's been 90% all referral, all word of mouth. We have some pretty phenomenal testimonies, for people to look at. And I'm not living in the world where I'm the coach for everybody. I don't want to coach a million people. I want to
Right.
coach 20 people, 25 people in a given year, and I want to see 20 of them have the best year of their business and their life. I coach the whole person because I don't believe you can detach your personal life from your business or your business from your personal life. And oftentimes the real challenge or the roadblock that I find with my clients is actually not in their business, but it's either inside themselves or in their personal, somewhere in their personal life. And so I'm certainly not a person for everybody that, the person that just wants to scale and it's all numbers and they don't want to go or talk about anything else. I'm not that person because I'm really here to serve all of you, whatever that takes, whether that's walking in a graveyard, whether that's taking a trip somewhere where you're totally outside your comfort zone, whether that's being at the Masters and seeing what real performance is under the biggest pressure. We really try to mix it up, whether that's a retreat with a bunch of business owners. We do the Fearless Mastermind retreat, in different locations and different conditions. So we're really trying to stretch people, really trying to help them find their what we call their God-given identity. Who are they truly? And then if they can find that, then what does that allow them to do in their business and their life? Because when we work from that true identity, you just have endless resource and power. But most of us are
Right.
living a lie. They're living in a false identity. So we have a false ability and a false vision and mission for our life. And that's why we're unhappy or it's not fulfilling or we don't have the results financially that we want. So we challenge people to face their fears. To tell the truth is how all progress begins. It begins by telling the truth, Rory. And until we can tell the truth about ourselves for ourselves, I really can't help you. And
Hmm.
so sometimes that takes a one off. Sometimes we work a year for a CEO of a company to go, okay, the truth is I'm the problem. My ego,
Right.
my pride, my past failure is preventing the company from moving forward or doing what it needs to do. Yeah. I live for
Yeah.
those conversations, for those moments. They're life changing. And
Yeah.
I want to do this until it's time to go home.
That's it. I love that. And my friend and mentor has a saying that income improvement follows self improvement. That you can't like your ability to produce or earn or have more of really anything that you want is a product of you getting better and becoming the person that you need to become. Right. I think that's overlooked, especially for people that maybe are new to entrepreneurship or like you said, they're kind of hitting a wall. A lot of people are like, oh, if I could just crack my new customer acquisition or if I could just decrease costs, that's the thing that's holding us back. And like you said, it's like it's very often is us, like something we're doing, right?
Yeah. Or
And that's
something we're believing about ourselves that's not
right.
true.
Yeah.
Because that false identity, that lie that you believed about yourself, that maybe a parent, a coach, a manager, a friend told you, that's what's blocking you from really moving forward. And
Right.
so we dig big time into that. And, for some people, that's too much. And for other people, they're
Mhm.
like, okay, I've done all those other coaching things, I've gone to Tony Robbins, I've done all, but I've never really personally addressed that for myself. And boom, that's where breakthrough happens. That's where transformation, that's where, a person can go from here to here in a moment.
Yeah.
Um, when you change that. So,
And so it sounds like, I mean, the relationships you have with people, it sounds like these span many years. Like once you get a client, it's not like a 3 months and they're out of here. It sounds like people are staying with you for quite a while. Is that
yeah.
right?
My record so far is 15 years with a client every
Wow.
month. Yeah, for
Yeah.
15 years. So, yeah, they're much longer. I don't, I hear from time to time that, these coaches do these 1 month or 90 days or 6 months.
Mhm.
And I'm like, how do you effectively serve somebody in 3 conversations to the
Right.
level that I guess my expectation is? Like, I'm not interested in somebody that's looking for a 30-day fix. I don't,
Right.
I don't even get that. I'm like, I don't, that's not me. I know there's a million people that do that. I have no, I attended like the 15-year client actually is the most successful, most financially wealthy dentist in our state. And I met him. He was working on me, and he was telling me all the problems that he was having. He was $1 million in debt, and he had bought this practice that was empty and had no patients, and the insurance companies were not paying him as much anymore, and he had a bunch of debt from dental school and all these things. And so he's doing all this restorative work on me. I'm like, I hate being at the dentist. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
just want
Yeah.
it done and get out of there. But, we started working on it, and, he now works 3 days a week, takes probably 2 months off a year. He owns 3 homes. He has a car collection that is worth millions of dollars. And, he makes more money than any dentist in our state. Last year he cleared, personally working 3 days a week, over $2 million personal income.
Wow.
And it's like it's almost part time because that was the vision.
Right.
And I said to him a couple of months ago, I go, doctor, why do you keep hiring me? Like, why are you? He goes, oh no, he goes, you're my secret weapon. And he goes, if we can do this, we can do this. And then he said, here's the new vision of what we want to do. And he goes, no, he goes, that is something that will never change. And I'm looking for people that always have that greater vision. They're not
Hmm.
afraid to face the challenge. They're not afraid to face their own fears and doubts and uncertainty. They're not afraid to face, the things that are holding them back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very cool. And
that's
so it I was going to say, if you're, so if you're working with a small handful of clients and they're staying for 5, 10, 15 years, then it would seem like as the CEO, or if you're running this company, you're probably not evaluating it based on new client acquisition, right? In terms of success. So like, what does success look like for you in the business? How are you gauging, if we're on the right track or we're not?
Well, I think I said this at the beginning. Maybe I did, but I'll say it. It really is in my people winning, meaning my people are the people that I serve and support, and I'm their coach or their chief belief builder, or whatever they want to call me. Doesn't really matter. That's how I measure it, because ultimately, in the work that I do, that's really the only true, honest measure. Everything else is just kind of made up, right?
Yeah.
Because it would be like me being a doctor and not judging whether or not the surgery was successful. Like, no, that's the only thing that matters to me. If I'm going to have the surgery done, it's like, how many of these have you done and how many are successful? And those people, are they alive?
Right.
Um, I choose to look at it that way, but I've been in business and an entrepreneur so long that, to me, that's really the only thing that's going to matter at the end of the day, right? Is my people winning. Now, winning could be a better marriage. Winning could be attending both of their sons, sporting events across the country because they're college athletes. Winning can, like, I'm not defining it only as a business profit number. So we have a lot of different ways of winning, but that's how we keep score. And I
Hmm.
find that winning, when we win and other people hear about how our people are winning, then that's kind of how we've been able to, not kind of how, that's how the business has really gone for 20 years, is really in that cycle. Um,
Right.
if I that I don't know if that makes sense, but
No,
that's
no, it
how I
does.
see
Yeah.
it.
It makes perfect sense. So you haven't really had to do any real marketing in terms of ads or content or anything like that. I mean, it's been mostly word of mouth.
No. I mean, we put stuff out. I mean, we have a YouTube channel. We have, I speak. I mean, I just spoke at two events
Right.
and in Phoenix and down in Houston. Yeah, I mean, we people find us that way. And then, it's
Hmm.
interesting because I am who I am and I don't try to hide that. It either resonates really deeply and people, or they're like, no, that scares me, or that's not the guy for me, or, I don't hold an MBA. I wasn't the CEO of a Fortune 100. I wasn't like, I mean, we grew our company to, 4,000 people, but, 42 states. But I mean, we were privately held. I mean, it was our company. Like, so, I don't have all of that background. The other thing is I'm severely dyslexic, so I don't really read and write. I don't, I don't have any of those skills, but because I'm dyslexic, I'm, I have a huge muscle on the right brain. And so I immediately see, as an entrepreneur, like, I can sit with somebody 10 minutes and they can tell me certain things and I'm right 95% of the time, like, okay, this is the problem here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I have an
Right.
unfair advantage of being dyslexic and also being in the marketplace so long. I've pretty much seen everything. I've lost a major lawsuit. I have been threatened my life because of a business I started, and I failed in 10 businesses in my 20s, 10 in a row. And my wife said, "What'd you learn? What are you going to do next time?" And the 11th one was our insurance company, and it just blew up. I mean,
Hmm.
I've been in every spot. I owed $1 million and I had 3 weeks to pay it, and I didn't have a penny, and we paid it. Like,
Right.
so that's just wisdom that comes. That's just age. The one
Right.
benefit of being as old as I am, being born in the 50s and now, is that there's no shortcut to real life wisdom experience. Like, and then traveling all over the world and seeing how people work and how the world works, and that's all my education. And then I've worked with a lot of people that have done some pretty amazing things,
Yeah.
you know. And I'm just the guy in the back of the room when they're getting the award going, no, I told you 5 years ago that you were going to be the guy.
Right.
Like my power is I see what they can't see in themselves till they can.
Mm-hmm.
I see the greatness because it's in you. It's in you.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm curious too, having seen so much, would love to get your thoughts on AI. How's that affected your business? How's it affected your
I
clients?
love it.
Like, what are you seeing? Really?
I love it. I love it. In fact, I was looking, I wasn't aware of you. I was looking at your site and I love what you're doing. And I was just the keynote at this event in Phoenix. And one of the speakers there, Trent Gillespie, was the head of AI for Amazon for 20 years.
Oh,
He was
wow.
the head guy and he spoke there before I did. Wow. I mean, it's such a great tool. And
Right.
so, I want to employ that. I want to get those agents out there. I want to, like, because it's so powerful. And who am I
Yeah.
not reaching because I haven't connected with them or they don't know the way I work or, like there's some people, they're on my kind of dream list of someday I'd like to coach that this I think is a vehicle that could really put us in front of them. And
Yeah.
if nothing else, have that conversation where I get to ask the most powerful question, of them. What do you want? What do you really, really want? Not what you're supposed to say, not the
Right.
speak or whatever, but like, what do you really, really want? And then, really dig into that. And then what's stopping you, man? Like,
Right.
why? Like, what is in the way? And most of the time, it's not external. It's
Right.
really not. It's
I
just
say
not.
almost every time. Right.
It's just
Yeah. There's,
it's right here.
yeah,
It's this nine
there's,
inches. This nine
right.
inches. It's a bit long journey, man. Long journey.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
absolutely.
want to go
There's
there with you.
no new problem in business, right? Like it's all been solved. There's somebody has solved the revenue issue, the operations issue, like we're not inventing new problems here, but somehow we all keep facing them. We keep having the same issues, right? That's just so fascinating.
It's the human condition,
Yeah.
which, all these people are, when I spoke at this event, everybody's like, well, AI is going to replace me and this and that. And I go, I think AI just amplifies what I can do because it frees me to more with my emotional intelligence, my spiritual intelligence, my business intelligence, with the wisdom that I have. Like it just enhances what I'm able to do for my people so they can win. Like it does.
Absolutely.
It's like a rocket ship. Why would
Yeah.
I not get on the rocket ship?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I teach a lot about fear is stopping you from what you really want. Like we have a mastermind called the Fearless Mastermind. Like there's a lot around that, but this AI, I mean, I was shocked at this event, like how afraid the room got when he was talking. Like
Right.
it was almost like I would go, wait a second, is that really a foe? Is that a fear, or is that actually the juice you need to
Hmm.
really do and be more of who you are? It's an
Right.
enhancer. It's never going
Yeah.
to replace me because it doesn't have the experience I have. It doesn't have the wisdom. It doesn't have the emotional intelligence. I can tell by looking at somebody before they speak what's going on. Like
Hmm.
it's a gift I have. It freaks people out. And I'm like, this is what you're thinking. How do you do that? Well, I believe part of that's a gift from God. Like I have
Right.
insight that other people don't have.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that to serve you for good. That's all AI is. AI can only do what AI can only do. And that's as good
Hmm.
as what's put into AI.
Right.
And it
Yeah.
can never hug my clients. And it can
Right.
never cry with them on the phone when they lost their son.
Yeah.
And it can never do the funeral of their dad that died suddenly.
Yeah.
I can. I want to. I will.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of people worry about getting replaced by AI, but I think the much more accurate fear is being replaced it should be that being replaced by somebody who's using AI when you aren't. Because to your point, the human element, we're a long, long way from AI even being able to get close. And anybody who's used it enough will know that. I mean, I can't even hardly get it to give me a good cookie recipe half the time. It's got me doing things that will burn. Like there's just these fundamental little things where like AI just hallucinates, it loses its mind. And I'm like, it's probably not going to be, managing our global defense yet. But I think a lot of people just don't know, right? They're just not up to date on what it can and can't do. But I agree with you. I think the natural side effect of outsourcing and delegating more things to AI is now your brain, you can either work less, like you said, if that's your priority, take some time off. Or now the time that you do have, you can do bigger and better problem solving because you're not checking QuickBooks and moving data between Google Sheets and doing these little tasks, right?
Rory, I don't want to do any of that.
Right.
It's not
exactly.
really what's significant. It's not going to allow and get my people to win. That's not the answer.
Right.
So it's just bringing this whole group of people to realize, oh, now even people that have all the AI and they're using all of it, they're still like, okay, but I still don't have meaning in my work, or I'm still struggling the balance between me running this company and raising 5 kids. And like, how do I do that? Well, AI can't help you with that.
Right.
I've done that in my own life.
Yeah.
I went from working 80 hours a week to 4 hours a month in my last company because I wanted to be there with my kids. I wanted, as they were teenagers, I wanted them to come and travel the world with me and my wife. And like, we wanted to have him. And what do they talk about now with their kids? This is what grandpa and grandma did with us.
Yeah.
It's more important.
Right.
It's more important.
I love that.
I mean, I know it's obvious. It's probably obvious. I'm a very deep faith person. Like my faith it overrides everything. Like I can't do what I do and then say, well, I did this I did this myself. No,
Right.
this is what I call a God-given mission, like is to help people. The marketplace is the greatest opportunity in the world. Everywhere I go, very few people go to church on Sunday, but Monday morning, everybody goes to work. Everybody goes to the marketplace.
Right.
Why would I not be there? Why would I not bring the value that I can bring to those people? Because they're really the world changers.
Yeah.
I worry about these people that put all their hope in government or a politician or a party or whatever. Like, why can't you grasp that's never going to be the answer.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
I don't
love
mean
that.
to get too political or religious, but
No, I'm here for it. I agree on almost every count. I feel like we need a lot less waiting for somebody to save us. Whatever institution or thing it is, like just save yourself. Like, and goes back to what we talked about earlier, because as soon as you turn that spotlight inward, then you realize all the areas where you got to improve and grow and get better. I don't know how to do this. We'll figure it out. I don't know how to, well, figure it out. Like, and you do that enough times, and like you said, you can build a life that you really, really love.
well, and a legacy. I'm at the age
Right.
where it's like, this is not so much about me anymore. We
Yeah.
just had 2 granddaughters born last weekend, 24 hours apart. Two daughters gave
Wow.
birth, their second, third. And then we have a grandson being born in February. And I'm like, I want to do this for them. I want them to realize that their grandparents we did something significant to make the world better. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, we have a lot of friends our age that have, gone into retirement. They're chasing the white ball. They're this, they're whatever. They're miserable.
Yeah.
And they're not only they're mentally depressed, but they're all physically getting all these sicknesses and illness. Like, and I'm like, I don't think that was ever the purpose of somebody's life.
Right.
I mean, stopping and it all being about me, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, that's super mental health. Like you start thinking about just the mental health crisis in America and you go, well, that's because we're all focused just on us.
Exactly.
You want to be healthy, you want to be well, you want to be alive, you want to have an exciting life. Go serve somebody else
Yeah.
deeply. Be there for them. Be there for them when it's their worst day. You guarantee your life will be dramatically better.
I agree.
One of the
Well
things
said.
I tell my clients when I onboard them, I say, I will be the one person who'll walk in when everybody else walks out of your life. That's my guarantee. I can't
Right.
guarantee any financial result or any other result, but that's my guarantee. Whether you're getting married or you're burying somebody or it's the worst day of your life for some other reason, that's what I bring to this relationship. Then guess what? That's what most people like. That's what they're missing in their life, Rory. Like that's what they're
Right.
missing. They don't have that person.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. That's great stuff, Scott. So what are you focused on over the next year? I mean, obviously we're wrapping up this year. What does 2026 look like for Confidence Coach for you personally? I mean, what are the things you're excited about and putting your attention on?
Yeah, two things. Thanks for asking that. Two things. One of the things that's just kind of morphed on its own is a couple of years ago we had a client and they started doing events, pretty big events for the people in their business and network. And we started going there and just as a way to serve them, we provided one-on-one coaching during the event, during the 3 days. So people could sign up, spend an hour with me, have a breakthrough transformation, whatever, and then learn what they got in the event and really make a difference. Well, it just kind of blew up. Like I did 46 one-on-ones in 2.5 days at their first
Whoa.
event. And it was just like, and people were mad because they didn't get, and so out of that, we're starting to do more of that where we actually go to the event to serve the people in the event while their mind is open, their heart is open.
Right.
They want to make a change. And then the adjunct of that is I've started speaking, telling my own story because I was suicidal at 7 and 8. Almost I tried to kill myself. I
Oh
all
wow.
kinds of problems with school because I grew up in the 60s. There was no learning for dyslexia or anything. They thought, anyway, I tell my story of failure and fast and believing a lie about who I was and until I found the truth. And that once I found the truth, boom, all these other good things started happening in my life. And so now we're getting more of so more speaking in front of these business owners, entrepreneurs, these, and then more coaching, intensive coaching at these events. And I'll tell you,
Mhm.
Rory, it is the biggest high of my life to like coach 15, 20 people in a day, just boom, boom, boom. It's
Yeah.
so energizing. And then to see them have a breakthrough the next morning, run in and go, hey, I called that person last night and I'm going to fall through. I'm going to get that deal. Or I told my wife that on Fridays, I'm going to be home now. Like, I'm
Right.
going to be home and like give her a break, like whatever it may be. Or we're going to buy our biggest competitor. We're doing it. We hired the team. Like, these are real, like, it's real life. And like, it happens
Right.
because in that event, they're ready. Like, their heart and mind is ready. They have courage. They have more confidence. They have all of that. So those
Yeah.
two things going into 2026, and I just spoke and I just got all the feedback from the event in Phoenix. And, like God's given me the ability to communicate my story and it profoundly moves people. And I just want to do more of that and,
Yeah.
make a difference. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be around tomorrow. Nobody really knows that. But, at my age, it's like every day is a gift, every year's a gift. And that's just a way of exponentially doing more good
Yeah.
is doing that type of thing. So if you know anybody that's looking for a speaker, if you know anybody that has an event where we come on our own, we pay our way, we like, and then just pour into their people. Wow.
Hmm.
I mean, it's so cool what happens. It's like a firestorm because the first couple of
Right.
people, they go back into the event, they go, you need to go do like this. You're doing this, but you got to go do. and then it's just boom, it blows up. So it's pretty exciting. So that's
That's
just
very
something
cool.
new we've done over the last year and a half. And it's really fun
Hmm.
for us. When I mean us,
Yeah.
or my wife, Orlena, she runs all the logistics, all that. She's the CEO, and then I do what I do, and it's really fulfilling, Rory. I mean,
Very cool.
we
I was
get
going
to
to
do
ask you, how do you find those events? Like, are those people you know, or are you just kind of land in your lap once in a while?
they started landing in our lap, and then excuse me, then it's just kind of word of mouth. These people that do these events for other business owners, entrepreneurs, whatever, and then it's just started to build. We haven't done
Mhm.
anything to promote it, so to speak,
Right.
but we certainly are looking for it now, and we were never before. You
Right.
know, yeah, yeah. It's really fun.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, we're about to need to wrap up because I want to be respectful of your time and we're getting close to it. So just a couple more questions. So one thing you mentioned the what you're focused on for 2026. I'm curious if you had a magic wand and there were any frustrations or roadblocks or challenges in the business that you could just make go away. Is there anything that is holding you up right now?
Well, I think just more time to go
Sure.
deeper with people. Like time is the most valuable asset that we have. And just finding time to do that, be more effective with that. And I think AI is going to be part of that. I mean, I'm just
Right.
at the tip of learning about that, but if I can build some AI agents that can do more of that, like an AI agent to find maybe some more speaking or events where we could serve people by coaching, like, even that, or just getting my voice out, about those things, I think that'll buy me more time and put me in better opportunities. Not that they're not all good, but even like the one in Phoenix was phenomenal. Like you couldn't
Yeah.
have scripted better for who was there, for the whole thing. Yeah. So just leveraging that, I think, it can always be more efficient I mean,
Right.
this more
Yeah.
than I probably do, but how do you leverage something that's bespoke and very custom,
Right.
you know, because what we do is very, very unique. And I've had enough coaches tell me now that they either say it's unique or I don't, I, I don't understand how that could work, but that's okay. You know,
Very cool.
yeah.
Well, this has been a great conversation, Scott. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. Why just let people know where can they connect with you, or where should they reach out if they want to get to know more? Where's the best place to go?
Yeah. Confidencecoach.org. That's our website. You can go there. I'm on LinkedIn, Scott Ballard. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I mean, active, but I mean, I'm on there
Sure.
quite a bit. And yeah, just reach out. I'd love to have a conversation if you're doing something and you really have a vision or something really compelling. And the best way to know if you are is if you have a really big problem. I love really big problems and I love to help people solve them. So, yeah, guess that's it.
That's great. I hope somebody will take you up on that because genuinely, usually when you have a very big problem, you mentioned earlier, that's when people walk out. That's not when people are walking in. So it's good
Yeah,
to have that person in your life for sure.
yeah, for sure.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for your time, Scott. It's a great conversation. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Rory.